All right, what is up, Chavos and Chavets? Welcome to another episode of Chelas con Chavos. I am your co-host, John. I'm here once again with co-host Miguel. What's up, Chavo?
Hey, what's up, man? How you doing?
Muy bien, man. Muy bien. Well, not too happy about the results, obviously, with the Loyal, but we'll get into that. It's starting to get tight up there in the standing, but besides that, I'm really happy. You know, we're gonna get into it. Just go ahead and get into it. But Chavos have been a lot of good things been going on with Chavos this past couple of weeks, and we'll get into that shortly. But I mean, I'm super stoked as to what Chavos have become in the past couple of years, and I want to go ahead and let you start it off so we start getting into that.
Yeah, no, definitely. I definitely felt like the return of Loyal coming back. It's we all kind of we've all been kind of like restless, and I feel like this past month or that actually this past like couple weeks, we have been a little bit more in the spotlight. And it's fantastic. You know, like I mean, honestly, we can't really do it without the help of a couple of our other SGs, right? Started off with us being in the locals podcast. They were gracious enough to invite us over, and then Tony being able to host that for us as well. It's another two balls in a mic pod connection right there. And from that, the kind of starting off that week, we just kind of had great conversations with all the guys. And our first game back, we had a special, we had a few special guests over for our tailgate event for the first game back home. Some 3 Punk Ales come out, have a good time. Also the Loyal Fiends. I mean, those guys are. I mean, they're killing it on social media. They're killing it with their merch, and they've been very very awesome. Being a part of the group with us. Including us in their in all their activities. So we really appreciate them. We appreciate them for it. And then like obviously the creme de la creme. The reveals, man. And we were front and center right there with the Chicano Federation. That's something we've been I honestly I was caught by surprise when that stuff came out because I didn't know about it. And just to let you know, man, it was very tight lipped within our group as well. So I was pleasantly surprised. I love the videos. I love the way Sam narrated that. Sam Padrino, he narrated the whole video. Um and it was definitely one of those weeks where I was definitely very proud and very happy to be a Chavo and to see everything that's been accomplished in the last year.
Yeah, it was amazing seeing just things that have been going on, and with everything with Chavos right now, and with the whole kit reveal was beautiful. It went big on social media. The colors, the whole Chicano Federation connection, and the colors. Think about the colors, the avocado green and the lime green, and the whole Chicano Federation connection there. That was beautiful to see. Going with some Hispanic heritage, here in San Diego, in regards to the kit, and it was just beautiful, and it was very tight-lipped. I was a little, I was like, man, like what's everyone keeping secrets about, and we weren't getting told about it because you tell one Chavo and the next thing like LA knows about it, what I'm saying. so I can understand why not a lot of people in Chavos got briefed on that, and that's cool, because like I like the surprise and everything, but it's a beautiful kit. I think seeing it in person, at the match, against Las Vegas Lights, at Torero, it was super beautiful. It's like the color, it's just it's just an amazing kit. I think San Diego Loyal has been killing it, with Charlie especially coming on board, with the kits, but I mean, what more can you ask for? Chicano Federation is a very respectable group organization here in San Diego. When I went to college, when I was in community college, many millennia ago, like I had the opportunity to take some Chicano history classes and stuff. Appreciative of what the organization has done and the whole again history and stuff like that. I think it was a really nice touch from connection with them and having paying homage the Chicano history here in San Diego, and in turn, like coming out with a beautiful kit.
Yeah. No, I definitely and I think it was one of those it was the first step of many. Um and I think it was a very fitting first step. I know we talk a lot about, how sometimes Chicano Park could be a little overrepresented. Um and but to finally have a kit sponsor like Charlie that could, that can produce third kits for us specifically, I think that was a very well thought out first step, right? What better way to represent the city of San Diego, than coming up with a kit for just population here um and I think it's going to be getting bigger. Next year, you never know. You might come to heritage. You might come out with a Japanese heritage, a Korean heritage. You may even come out with a Kume heritage, and it's
Yeah,
just only going to get better. It's only as much we want to think that maybe the Chicano Park area is a little overrepresented. I think it was a very logical first step, and I'm not upset with it. The Talavera tiles are amazing. I thought people were just kind of joking around when they were showing the picture with the guacamole. Um, that
yeah,
was actually pretty. Yeah, that caught me off guard, but
yeah.
it was pretty fun. It was pretty.
Yeah, I like the touch, man, because I was, I'm gonna keep it real, man. This is Chelas con Chavos, man. So, I got a little bit of liquid courage in me, so I'm just gonna go in and say it, man. But I was never really too fond of like the orange kit, the all orange kit, and I can say it now just because we're not wearing it no more, But I have to obviously support the team. But I was like, man, we look like those orange, vanilla popsicles, you know, uh, on the pitch. I wasn't really too fond of the all orange. If it was like orange on I don't know, something, some different off color or just like the white or something like that, like just like orange top and like white bottoms or something like that, that'd be cool. But having like the orange on orange and the orange socks and stuff like that too, I was like, man, that's just really not us, man. That's Orange County, get that, give all that orangeness to Orange County, that they deserve it. But seeing like the Tory Green kids come out, beautiful, I would say, people saying, not just us, right, but they're saying that the Tory Green kits are amongst the best, of the league in the nation. And then now, coming out, with the whole the new kit that came out is, and it's up there as well. The green, just like the greens to me is so beautiful. I've always had a fond love for like the green, and then having the Tory green now, and having now like the avocado green, lime green. It's a nice
Mhm.
touch, I think, for the San Diego, like the Tory green, kit, and now we have like the lime green, avocado green kit, the Talavera style, and I think it's great, and I just can't wait till they're wearing that, more often on the pitch, and seeing.
Yeah, and the best part about it is that releasing kits is a science. It's not like I really enjoy third kits that have some sort of meaning to it. Like I'm
Yeah,
gonna give a little knock to Las Vegas right now. A couple of years ago when they had like 7 different home jerseys.
yeah,
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 that right there. I mean, just because you put out 7 different home jerseys, that doesn't mean that like 7 jerseys are gonna hit. And I get the whole concept, that their fans designed the jerseys and that's what they wore. And I mean, I appreciate that connection, but I definitely think that releasing kits is is just as crucial as signing a player. It's like because that's what gets people excited. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So I'm not upset at the kit. I'm not upset at the jersey, the style. Some people may not like it. Yeah, it might not. It might. There could be better choices out there, but honestly, it was a very logical choice, and it was a very, very well thought out choice. And I'm 100% happy with the way they did it.
Yeah, great, and also having some beautiful models, right? some beautiful models,
Oh, of
model
course, man.
kits,
Yeah,
some beautiful Chavos, some
yeah,
Chavos models already, putting a Ronaldo to shame. You know,
I know,
uh,
man.
how about that, man? Having several Chavos, in the launch for the kit, over at Chicano Park.
Yeah.
So I think that was very awesome.
Yeah,
Uh,
and then you got the Bridge Barcata folks out there playing, with Chicano
yeah,
futsal as word, it's just like it was definitely it was very well done. I definitely appreciated it.
yeah. Yeah, to San Diego Loyal, I think people could complain that where's their outreach to North County, East County or whatnot, but I think they've been doing a good job. I would even say they're doing a great job. They're trying their best to get out there to the communities. They're having events in East County, and the at the game there's the El Cajon High School soccer team was out there at the match against Las Vegas, and I went to that high school, so it was a great thing having them there, represented, which was great. Having the El Cajon High School soccer team out there, and they're doing the best they can to reach out to all the communities from all different diverse backgrounds, but again, like San Diego has a such rich history, with Latin America, obviously Mexico, and in Chicanoism, here in the border, region. So I think it was a very beautiful touch what they've been doing, and hopefully it grows. Like hopefully, like I said, like next year there's gonna be some like either some Kumeyaay, inspired type kits, or Filipino or something to that effect. But I think they've been doing a great job in that respect. On the pitch, let's save that for a little later.
It's
Little
not,
different story there, man.
let's wait it out a little bit.
Yeah. So yeah, what else is going on, man? What are speaking of Chavos and the match? The tifo.
Yeah, the tifo. So that was actually, I believe that was our first tifo that we led in collaboration with the locals. And again, I think we talked about it during the locals podcast. It was everybody kind of came out. They helped us out with it. It was a little different. Um, it was a little different style of tifo that I think we're used to as fans. It didn't cover an entire section. It bannered over the side, and it was a low rider. It was a low
Yeah.
rider. It was beautiful. You got Bum on one side, you got the Ultra Chavo driving the low rider, and I think it was very well representative of the 619 day. And the best part about it, in my opinion, was the way we kind of mimicked the smoke coming out with the ribbons. It looked amazing on TV. It looked amazing in pictures, and I think it was definitely one of the more creative tifos that you could have in a stadium that doesn't have what is it, like the raising, the raising areas where people can,
Right.
like
Yeah.
the
Like the
newer stadiums.
current, like the current raisings. Yeah.
Correct, correct. I mean, there's only so much you could do with tifos, especially in small stadiums like that. I mean, you can drape it over, or you can kind of go over the fans, and you got to get creative with it. I think
Yeah.
everybody did a great job in being able to get that out there. And on top of that too, we got to make sure we recognize that we still put out a Juneteenth banner on the side as well. So we couldn't forget. I mean, it was definitely a weekend where there was a lot of stuff going on. Right, you had Father's Day, 619 Day, Juneteenth, and everything just kind of piled on all at once. And I think us as supporters made it work very well, and it looked very good on TV. It was very classy, and you can't complain with that. I mean, how'd you feel about the lowrider theme?
Oh man, I loved it, man. Just seeing that end, the supporters, and Section 109 starting to change. It's been changing, but it's starting to have an identity. Like in the beginning, we're kind of looking for that identity, and I think we're getting it. We're starting to people's charisma and art. Just talents are starting to come out along. From the locals, from the Chavos, the Rainbow Loyals and stuff, like all like the philosophies, and then like just the unification of thoughts are coming out, and like just like the way it's looking on screen, and being there too. It's I noticed a change, so because I went to the Las Vegas match, and we'll get into that shortly here. But I did feel a difference, a difference there. And I will I kind of get we'll get into it more in response to how you just mentioned about Torero, not able to have like those curtain razors just because of the Torero. It's an old it's a small pitch. It's a small stadium. It's not like it's not like a California Bank or Bank of
Mhm.
California, where you can have something like that, or so I mean, we'll get into that shortly, but yeah, the charisma and the changes have been happening in 109, and it's really good to see. And yeah, man, it's just I'm loving what I've seen on TV. I'm loving what I'm seeing in the stands. Just everyone's putting some type of art or passion out, and it's being expressed, in tifos and banners, and I love it. It's great.
Yeah. No, it was definitely, everybody did a great job, and I think, social media wise, I think we kind of represented very well. Um it's only gonna get better, man. And I think, like, this past weekend, like I said earlier, was, I guess we were just we were just so hungry for a home game, that we just came out. We came out swinging, and we were just all over the place. I mean, there was no way you wouldn't be able to, to tell that, that the fans didn't show up. And I think everybody did a great job. And started with the Hartford game, right? I mean, very decisive victory. We were loud, um, and and I just appreciate the way everybody kind of came together. It was like, and it was a lot different than other times. Like, when everything kind of happened with the whole AC thing and everything. Everybody came back with attention. This time everybody came back because they just wanted to be back, and it
Yeah,
made the vibe that much better. And I
yeah,
think we have to keep that going, especially during this little home stretch.
yeah, definitely. But yeah, the events around game day, or growing, the deft, the watch parties at away matches. But that's something I want to get into shortly after we talk about the game a little bit. But what's going to happen when we outgrow Torero, and the match against Las Vegas, there was a lot of people. I think there was like over 5,000. It was a pretty packed house. So I did want to get into that a little later. But first, you want to go ahead and start getting into the game a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, which one do you want to get to? Do you want to get to the lights, or I
Yeah, well,
mean,
I mean, we could, obviously the Hartford, game was already, already over a week ago. We can pretty much just say that, they had a great match, obviously, with the win, and with that, just my thoughts. I think we talked about it a little bit on the Loyal Locals podcast, but to me, I think a lot of these East Coast teams, they come into San Diego, and it's almost like seeing the Chargers in essence, like uh, how people used to play the Chargers. Like the East Coast teams used to come in here and try to bully. They try to be physical, and try
yeah,
to bully us at home in San Diego, right? So I kind of feel like the same way here. That I think Hartford had a plan that they were going to show up here and kind of just punch us in the mouth in the midfield, and they were trying to, but it kind of slapped them back in the face.
yeah,
With their coach getting overheated, and then he getting, the red card, and getting, then having to go in the stands and start freaking trying to coach in the stands, and people are like, shut up, like, so, but I think they had a game plan, but they couldn't, hold it, like their game plan, and Loyal just pretty much took over, and then just won.
yeah. No, and I can honestly say, I think it's been, what, a couple weeks since we've been on air or something like that, since we've been on. Um, Even before then, though, I gotta say, we keep losing the easy games. Um,
Yeah,
and I think we were the better team in New York. We were the better team this past weekend, and our defense is just letting us down. Um,
yeah,
we're beating ourselves, or I mean, I talk we like I'm on the team, right? But I feel like I'm a part of the team. But the loyal, they're beating themselves. And I think I heard Landon say on the I think he was being interviewed by Tony, um, that teams are coming in knowing that they're playing the pressure or they're trying to play the control. And they're playing like like full press against loyal. And if you see that, then I can tell you right now what the problem is. The problem is our defense can't handle that press. And I mean these
Yeah,
teams, they're not that good coming in. They don't have very good offenses. And I think I mentioned this before in the past few podcasts is that they're getting way more shots on goal, and eventually those shots are going to go on goal. And
yep.
even if we're the best team and we have like 70% possession, that's not going to matter if the other team is shooting the ball 18 to 20 times, even if it's not on target, and we're only shooting the ball 6 or 7 times. It's like it's eventually those odds are going to catch up to us.
Yeah, the sad thing apart of this too, that playing against Red Bulls too, who are bottom of the table, and then just leaving, New York, New Jersey, or whatnot, with that, with what happened, and, not coming out with the win was, completely heartbreaking. But you know what, our just our weakness is our defense right now. And to me, I already put it up on my podcast, is just that backs are just don't have it. They don't have the eye of the tiger. They're not. We lost Yarrow, and it was a big part of our defense. And Stoneman is not that athletic type. And Kyle Adams, neither. So I think we got to make some changes there. And then because what happened at Red Bull, Hartford, that was a one off. I think if Hartford would have been able to kind of keep their head in the game, I think the result would have been different for them, but since they kind of blew their lid in the first 15, 20 minutes, I think Loyal started kind of finding themselves and then, coming out on top. And, against Las Vegas, as well, like, we have an offense, but our defense can't keep us in the game, and I'm going to say it all right there. It's just that it's Stoneman. Stoneman, I think, has been, for the past couple months, he's been making some major slip ups in the defense. He's not the only one, but he's the one that I've been noticing a lot more.
And they're
Stoneman, because
garbage goals.
go ahead.
I said they're garbage goals. I mean, they're not
Yeah,
exactly like beautiful goals. I mean, Stillman, I'll give him that. He's a big he's a guy that can get the ball in the air.
yeah.
He's gonna win the ball in the air like 80% of the time. But unfortunately, it's those stupid little rebounds that just keep coming back and they're gonna kill us. That's just it.
Yeah, we're winning all these aerial duels, but what's the end result? We're not getting too many headers at goal as far as getting, goals. And that needs to change. In the match against Las Vegas, both of the goals, for Vegas, Stoneman had some type of error or something he could have done better. This one, he got beat, by Cal Jennings. There's a pass to Cal Jennings. He pretty much turned Stoneman out. Stoneman got caught flat-footed, and then Jennings just broke speed. And Stoneman didn't even like break into fifth gear. He just kind of was just kind of stagnant there. Just kind of was just jogging towards him. Maybe he's either injured or something, or he didn't want to run and aggravate some type of like a muscle injury in his legs or something like that. But he for me, it's like kick on those burners, pull his jersey, trip him up or something like that. He didn't do that. And then the second goal, by Danny Trejo, and mind you, those two players, you got to make sure you're good, as far as defending, because those are top notch players right there that Las Vegas has, in Jennings and Trejo. But again, Kyle Adams and Stoneman got kind of just mixed up, with Danny Trejo running at them, and the ball kind of just started flopping, here and there, and then they let him go by, and then boom, goal. So we can't just wait for Guido, to hit a banger, a rocket, every game. We got to have some unified play, from our midfielders, Colin Martin, Charlie Adams. Charlie Adams has been doing pretty good lately, but I mean, it's just like individuals, right? Like, to me, it's just like individuals have been kind of just doing certain things. Charlie Adams had a banger, I believe it was against Hartford, right? And but we're just relying on these like bangers that just outside of the 18-yard box, and to me, it's just the defense.
Yeah, yeah, and I mean, I've kind of been seeing the the little differences that we've been playing. Uh, I think I noticed at home we're starting to play a lot more like maybe like what is it, the five midfielder set, three people in the back. That kind of works, in some ways because it's you want to build an exciting, you know. I think Landon mentioned that like year one is he wants us to be very aggressive at home, and away he wants the team to be a little bit more reserved, but not reserved, but be a little more tactical, right? Um, and I don't know if we're just maybe mismatching the defense, the defensive like um groups, but I don't know. It's just it's hard for us to sit here and I mean it's easy for us to sit here and you just talk about how the defense is messing up because I mean obviously I mean these guys are athletes. I mean this is what they do day in and day out. But at the same time, it's a lot. It, it's it's a change that is becoming very noticeable and is becoming a trend. And at some point, somebody in the organization has to be able to address it. Whether it's getting a different set of players in the back, that can work. With that three defensive formation, or maybe a little bit better playing man, um or it's maybe it's about making a personnel change. But I never really liked judging people by one game, but when it starts becoming a trend, then at some point you gotta be like, okay, if I'm seeing it, somebody in the organization has to be seeing it, right? I mean, I don't know, that's just my view.
Yeah, and what you just said is that the leadership in the club needs to decide on what's going to happen because we had an opportunity to solidify our third place standing in the Western Conference, and with the loss now there's like three other teams that are tied up with us, so it could either go either way. If we slump up against Indy 11 coming up, they were going to start going downhill, right? And then we have Orange County after that, and that game's not going to be easy, because there's a pretty heated, just gameplay between the two clubs. Orange County comes here, they don't want to lose, so it's like I don't want to be that club where like Red Bull beat us, Las Vegas beat us, they're bottom of the table. Red Bulls were bottom of the table. Remember Oakland wasn't really doing too well. They got a good result against us. So it's like I don't want to be that club that like, hey, we're losing to these lower table teams because they got more of the eye of the tiger than us. We have to really look for our style of play and our soul in regards to what Landis mentality is. And I think he has a good mentality, but it's just like I think that the defense is not what the talent's not there. That losing Yarrow, having such a speedster and an athlete in the back. We don't have that in Stoneman, and we don't have that in Kyle Adams, and unfortunately. And for center backs, as well as I do that you got to have some strong center backs. They either have to be, if they're not going to be fast, they got to be big and physical, right? And if they're not going to be big and physical, they better be, strong and fast. And we really don't have neither one of those on our center backs.
Yeah.
So, let's see what happens.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be well, I think we're gonna see some mid-season moves coming up here pretty soon. As much as I love the players, I think there's gonna be some changes coming around. Um, Especially if we don't get results during this home stretch, because this is very critical. I mean, if the team is sitting here preaching about how good they have, about how good we are at home, and we can't even beat a team that's like kind of sitting, a little lower in the table in the West, then
Yeah.
that looks a little bad on us, right? So now who can we beat? Are we gonna just sit here and just kind of wish and pray that something, that we score, 2, 3 goals in the first half and then just kind of hold on to it? I just don't think that's a championship mentality at all. Period. Um, I don't have confidence in our defense, and I don't really think a lot of fans have confidence in defense. We should have won the game on Saturday, no doubt about it. The Loyal were a better team. The Loyal were a better team in New York, and they were a better team over in Galaxy. But the results have to show. That's it.
Yeah, exactly. We don't got some easy games coming up, shortly. We're gonna have to be playing against Colorado, so San Antonio's and stuff like that. And we got to make sure we got our stuff together with that. But again, let's just see what happens. And again, what I mentioned earlier about like the ambiance of the match against Las Vegas, it was over 5K that showed up for Father's Day, Juneteenth. I think it was a great showing. I actually thought that there was going to be less people there just because it was Father's Day. I figured that, a lot of people are probably going to be out, taking their grandpas and dads out, for dinner, and probably going to be too busy to go to a soccer game. But I
Yeah.
was wrong. I was wrong. They had a really good turnout. All of like the supporters section 109 and all the other adjacent sections to 109 were actually pretty well populated. So
Hmm.
it wasn't. It was it was all pretty filled up for the most part. And you can see on TV too that it was a pretty good even flow of that whole end. Then obviously like the main stands were pretty filled up as well. But it was a really good atmosphere. Unfortunately, it was a bummer that we didn't get the result. A lot of people were there. I was hoping, they came out, again with their families and stuff, like a lot of families out. I was like hoping that it was such a big, uh, following that day that we are going to get a good result, to get more people out to the stadium because, and we'll get to it whenever you want to right now, but I wanted to talk about the whole stadium situation again.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Snapdragon is looking better and better every day, man. It's looking better and better every day. It's not because I think Torero right now it's looking not super small, but you could tell that the room for growth in that stadium is very limited. Um, and especially the way the club wants to go. I think and what is it like? What is that? I read an article recently. I think you were the one that actually posted it that somebody's thinking that the way they came up with the plan for the Midway area was probably illegal. So, oh my God, there's another
Yeah,
freaking hurdle we got to go through.
yeah,
At this point, I'm just like, fuck it, let's just go to Snapdragon, man. It's already there. The infrastructure's gonna be there. Let's just build the foundation there. Let's just get it out of the way and tailgate and get drunk and set off smoke bombs because we can. I mean, I don't know
yeah.
who, I don't know if San Diego State's gonna let us do that, but uh, it's just looking like a better option at this moment, to be honest.
Yeah, and then so I'll go ahead and get into my thoughts on and when I was there at the match against Las Vegas. But so I was in 109. All right, this is my little my personal experience that I kind of gave me an epiphany that I think it's gonna be our time at the end of the season for next season to go to Snapdragon. So I was in 109. I was looking around. I saw a lot of faces, a lot of new faces in 109. Great, the fiends, were there. The Chavos, locals, everything. Everyone's having a good time together. A lot of new faces that I saw. What does that mean? That means the supporters groups are growing, right? Yeah, not everybody was there in full numbers. It's kind of hard to do that, but the supporters groups are growing. There's a lot of new faces there that I've never seen before at 109, and I thought it was great. But I had a moment there where you know how they got rid of. We talked about it before. They got rid of the portal posies, in the
Yeah.
back. They used to be behind 109, and I was almost that's a butter because they had a little drinking area, a little concession stand where you could buy some beverage and go use the restroom. You have to go all the way around, almost to like at the opposite end of the stadium, right? So I had my younger son was with me, and he had to use the restroom, and then my wife, was like, I'm gonna go take him. And then she had to walk all the way to like the opposite side of the stadium, and it kind of made me think a little bit. I was like, and I had to use the restroom too at some point. I had to walk all the way around. And again, it kind of got me thinking about like, Torero, it's a great place to show those love. But I think for the modern game right now, we need something kind of like we went to Dignity Health,
Hmm.
right? You have a restroom every other section. You have a concession stand pretty much every other section. So when you go up, like in the stairs or up to where like like the pathways or whatnot, all you gotta walk is maybe like 20 yards, and there's either a concession stand or a restroom, right? At Torero, you gotta pretty much walk like 50 to 70 yards, to get to where you need to get to, right? The concession stands get filled up, the restrooms get filled up, and I kind of just kind of thought in my head, I was like, you know what? I just think it is time for us to move on from Torero. They can't put the porta potties there because of the logistics of the hill. Ricardo mentioned it in the listening session he had a couple weeks ago. The logistics of having the porta potties getting put in place behind 109 was too complicated, and apparently the company that was doing it was having difficulties and is couldn't wasn't was unable to do that any longer. And to me, it's like, I've had really bad moments with the parking situation at Torero, and
Mhm.
I've hated it where like I'm just like right there, and they make me go all the way around the whole freaking campus just to go up like one like up the block, up up kind of like by Linda Vista Road or whatnot. They make you go all the way inside of the campus, go all the way this big old loop just to go all the way out when the exit's just like right there. They have like traffic control police that they can they can have and kind of organize a little bit better.
Yeah.
There's one reason, and the whole portal potties, the whole concessions. I think the tailgating part, let's just talk about that, is huge. Huge, humongous.
Yeah.
um, I think having tailgating, Snapdragon, it's already getting out there on social media that they're gonna be there's gonna be tailgating. and
Yeah.
I- and I and I think I mentioned to you before in the past that I just think that if we're kind of like iffy on the numbers on our our capacity or our attendance rather at Torero's been kind of mid average or whatnot, but I think if there's tailgating, San Diego's a tailgating city.
Yeah.
um, if there's gonna be tailgating available, I can already tell you right now, it's gonna be like times like every one person that's right now that's going that's in 109 is gonna they're probably gonna be able to bring 10 more people just
Mhm.
because you want to go eat some carne asada. Because I'm pretty sure we are right. Like if 'cause damn well sure we're gonna be there. Chavos. So I'm sure there's gonna be a lot of us Chavos. Um, grill and the grilled chicken and and all that stuff, and that's gonna be and each one of us is gonna be like, hey, my neighbors wanted to go. Hey, my friends from my coworkers heard about our barbecues or carne asadas and they want to go. I can already kind of guarantee you now that one of us is going to end up probably bringing each game probably 10 more people overall with their kids, like the neighbor
Yeah.
and their kids, my coworkers and their kids. And I do see us, like, not filling up a 36, thousand stadium, but probably, with the tailgating involved, maybe bringing that up to maybe between like 10 and 15,
Yeah.
hovering between 10 and 15. What do you think?
Yeah, no, and it's always dependent too on how the team is, performing.
Yeah.
If I think, mentioned this before as well. If the team is not performing, people are not going to show up. And if there's a buzz around the city because the team is winning, and I mean, you can see it right now, with the Wave, right? They're sitting in first place. They're doing a fantastic job. I don't know if they're having attendance issues. I don't know. I haven't had a chance to go to the game.
No,
Um,
they're not. They're not. They're not
yeah,
having
it
no
doesn't seem
attendance.
like it either. Um, but if it's one of those things. If a team is winning and there's a buzz, people will show up, and
Mhm.
we're doing our part. We're spreading the word, and as independent supporters, we've always said we're not your salesmen. But at this moment, we're getting people in the stands. We're helping get people in the stands, and the team has to start producing. And when we move to Snapdragon, it's going to be up to us to build that atmosphere, to build uh
Mhm.
to keep that crowd involved, especially in 109. But it's at the same time it has to be the team has to be able to perform on the field. I don't know if I watched the did you watch the Darren Smith interview with Vassell
Oh, I
today?
did not.
No.
No.
So they're doing it was a great interview. It was like a 1 hour interview on the San Diego Loyal YouTube channel. Um they were eating sushi and stuff like that. And there was one part towards the end where Darren Smith asked Vassell about the supporter culture in the United States, and I don't know if this was I don't it's when athletes talk. I don't know. I have a hard time sometimes, thinking if they're being honest or if they're just kind of, just talking to speak to the crowd that they're talking to, right?
Yes.
Um, but they asked him about the supporter culture, and he said it in Europe, it he said he went to go to one Loyal game and that the Loyal were losing pretty bad and that the crowd was still chanting, and to him that was the most impressive thing. Um, if we can keep that same momentum, right? If we just sit out,
Mhm.
and we sing, 90 minutes plus, and just kind of bring that same energy that impressed him so much, it'll definitely be worth it. And with the student section that Snapdragon's going to provide, that also kind of doubles as a great supporter section for us. Um, but I agree with you 100%, man. It's just the logistics of Torero make it very difficult, and every major sports team is making the move to Snapdragon. And I'm, I would say I'm 98.999% confident that the Loyal are going to be one of those teams moving to Snapdragon.
Yeah, man. Just how I was getting to the logistics with Torero about, Snapdragon is gonna have modern facilities. They're gonna have, the tailgating, ways to get there, the trolley. They're gonna have parking. They're not gonna probably not have a lot of parking, but they're gonna have parking, which they're probably gonna be charging for the tailgating as well, which I'm pretty sure is gonna be a hot ticket, for people are gonna want to get in there to be tailgating, or maybe they don't even have to drive. Maybe it's like the people who drove, like us. I'm pretty sure we're gonna be paying for parking to get in there to take all our grills and stuff, and then whoever didn't
Trolley,
drive, yeah, and then the trolley, yeah, the majority of people are gonna be taking the trolley, from
yeah.
South Bay. They're gonna be taking the trolley from East County and stuff like that. Now the North County trolley too,
Hey, you
you
mean
know.
to tell me there's a train that drops me off right in front of the stadium and I can get drunk and then just take that same train back? Fuck yeah,
Yeah,
I'm gonna
I
do
don't
it.
have to drive. I don't have to worry
Yeah,
about, like, walking up that damn hill at Torero.
yeah.
But, the Snapdragon's kinda gonna have modern facilities, modern equipment. They're gonna have, restrooms, I'm pretty sure every other section of the stands.
Mhm.
They're gonna have more concession stands. They're gonna be, Loyal is gonna be able to have more space to do, like, kids' activities, like, in the plaza area or just outside the stadiums, right?
That reminds
Um,
me of Step Brothers. We're gonna have more
yeah.
space to do activities.
Yeah. And then, there's gonna be more space for food trucks. If we're gonna have food trucks
Yeah,
there, you line up, one of the sides of the stadium with food trucks, and have the concessions inside. You can even have a beer garden.
yeah,
If they could be the tailgate, and that's something we can't have at Torero. But again, when I was at Torero, I love the place. It was such a beautiful day too. It's a beautiful view. But I just had this epiphany. I was just like, you know what, we need to leave this stadium. We need to. If Snapdragon is going to be there, I really hated the idea. I was really, really showing um, my thoughts, really anti Snapdragon, and in turn, I'm kind of warming up to it. But also, there's a lot of good news coming out, with the Midway Village project as well. That height limit, 30-foot height limit, looks like it's going to get pretty much thrown out. So there's a strong possibility of the Midway project getting, the one that favors SD Loyal, of possibly getting done, but it's not going to get done next year, everybody. It's going to probably be around, 3 years,
yeah,
right? But in the meantime, we need to play, somewhere that's modern. We can't just stay in a Stone Age stadium when there's Wave going to be, they're going to be jumping ahead of us. They're going to be there in September, and that's actually a game I'm going to go. I'm not sure if you're going to go to that game, but that's going to be the first opportunity for the soccer community here in San Diego to witness a really big game because they're going to be playing against Angel City. I
oh,
believe
wow,
September 17th, I believe.
yeah,
And that game is going to probably fill out. It's probably going to fill up at least half of that stadium. I
yeah,
see there's going to probably be 18 to 20,000 people at that game. I think all the people from Angel City fans, from LA are gonna want to come up and see that. How many people here, are gonna want to go and see Alex Morgan in new stadium? The way Wave is playing right now, and us as we're Chavos. The Wave has their own supporters group, but I really want to go out there as us as a group, probably
mhm,
to support the Sirens, the Wave supporters group, go out there and be in the stands with them and support the Wave just in this one match because it's going to give us an example or a feel of how is it going to be when, which I strongly think we will be moving there at some point.
Yeah, yeah. No, it's gonna be a very I mean, you never know. I mean, if they open up the second deck for that, I would call that a success for the National Women's Soccer League, especially for the for the team. Um, yeah, it's I kind of wish it was we kind of had that same energy for the loyal. I'm not gonna lie,
Mhm.
um, but at the same time, I see what the draw is with the with with the San Diego women's team. But it's gonna be one of those games that's gonna set the standard for soccer in San Diego.
Yeah,
Not just international soccer, but just is gonna set the standard for San Diego soccer. I think the last time we had a meaningful outdoor game for a team from San Diego was the San Diego Sockers back in the day when Hugo Sanchez used to play the outdoor game, right?
yeah,
Um, that was the last time we had a meaningful outdoor game in a major stadium. With the what was that? What was that league? The NASL.
yeah.
Yeah,
Nassau.
the NASL league. Um, yeah, and it's as much as I like to say that, the loyal kind of doing that. I mean, we kind of they're doing it in a smaller scale. But I think that that game against Angel City is going to be one that's gonna it's gonna make the record books and people are gonna remember here in San Diego.
Yeah, and I think if San Diego Loyal does move there, you know, it's gonna start spreading the word amongst the teams around here, in the Southwest region. Phoenix. They're gonna want to make more of an effort to come out here. Witness a new stadium. Uh, you know, uh, those are gonna be gone. They're not gonna be in our league anymore. We have Monterey Bay, and Orange County. We're completely gonna surpass their capacity from their stadium. But they do have a pretty good following. Orange County, it's not that big. I think I would say we're bigger than them, obviously, but it's going to be good to see opposing supporters, that we're going to be going up against to kind of just start building that growth in the and that and just people just going to the match and tailgating and just saying how much of a great time they had. It's going to start spreading like wildfire. um and it's going to just help us grow as a club, and then in the league too. They're going to start seeing it and be like, hey man, you got to go to San Diego, that new Snapdragon Stadium, and check out an SD Loyal game, just how everyone loves going to Petco Park.
Yeah, no, exactly, and it's actually gonna be one of the best sights for me is gonna be seeing the fans on the other side of the stadium. I don't want to see them next to me anymore.
Yeah, that's something I really do like to see. There was only a couple fans I saw from Las Vegas Lights this past weekend. There's
Yeah,
only maybe like five that I saw, but I mean, like, yeah, I want to see like 100, couple hundred of opposing fans, just like, and then just us going at it. On ends, on each end. We're on one end and on the other end or something like that, and we're just going at it. Um, yeah. But we'll see what happens there, man.
yeah.
Um, yeah, so we're gonna. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh no, I'm saying, just you keeping up with this Los Angeles Galaxy Sac Republic score?
Yeah, what you got? It was tied when I looked at it like an hour
Yeah,
ago.
it was tied 1-1. It's still tied 1-1 right now, but I think we were talking about earlier. The one stat that kind of stands out to me is Sac Republic has 11 shots, two on target. Uh, Galaxy has 6 shots, two on target, but they have 59% possession. It's just
Yeah,
it's just one of those games where it's just the team with the most shots is the most opportunities going to get to you know they're going to surprise, and I think the Loyal have to start looking at that kind of stuff.
yeah, but it's there's a lot for us to do. You and I, and the other supporters groups here in San Diego, locals and everybody. There's a lot of work for us to do, but it's kind of one of those things where I felt like when I was at Torero, this past weekend watching the Las Vegas Lights, I felt good, just seeing all the new faces, the new Chavos, and a lot of new locals. Good, just seeing that. Hey, you know what? I was one of the ones that helped, or it was here in the beginning of this, and I'm still am. We're doing what we do. We're doing the podcast. We're having Chavos members and all the other members from other supporters groups and locals and Rainbow Loyals and stuff, listening to our podcast and giving us credit, and then asking us to join their podcast and stuff like that. But I feel like we've done a good thing. We're doing a good thing, and we're helping grow, the supporters group culture here in San Diego. But I felt really good just seeing all these new faces and being a part, of ST Loyal and like just like what's been going on, lately, with the kit reveals and then just like, the community things that they've been doing. There's a lot of work for us to do, as Chavos, and then as podcasters here, we still got a lot of work to do, and to to bring the beautiful game, the ST Loyal beautiful game to the outreaches of different areas of San Diego and in the nation, and even in like Europe. People are going to want to listen to what's going on in San Diego from Europe and South America, maybe even too. But I think there's a lot of work for us to do. But I'm very proud.
Yeah, yeah, I'm very proud too, and I think hopefully we have some more guests here coming up pretty soon. Um, and I'm very hopeful that that we're gonna succeed. Especially as an organization and as a club. Again, we just gotta man, we just gotta stay strong, man. We gotta finish those games out, man. It's frustrating sometimes, man. It is very frustrating, dude. So
Yeah,
this past Saturday, or actually this past Sunday, when I was watching the game, I was actually watching on my phone. Um, I saw the Guido goal, and I was like, "Oh my god, that was so beautiful, man!" Can we just talk about how beautiful that goal was? I mean, just the way that, oh man, just the
my
way he,
mouth dropped open in like for like 10 seconds.
oh my god, it's just, it's one of those goals where I was just like, the second you saw him like start like striking the ball or just making his way towards the ball, you kind of felt that, dude, he's gonna get it. It's gonna go in. I don't know what the hell's gonna happen. I don't know why I feel like it's gonna go in, but he's gonna hit the ball really well. I mean, he was just like, it was kind of one of those like, it was probably the equivalent of a basketball player having a wide open 3-point shooter. Just like,
Yeah,
oh yeah,
yeah,
this guy's gonna fucking drain it. Like there's no way he's not gonna make this one. Um, and just the way he celebrated with the fans, minute number 7, felt really good. I shut off my phone, started doing what I had to do, and I started getting the notification. Okay, Las Vegas tied it up. Okay, cool. Here we go again. Like, we're just gonna give them one,
yeah,
and then and then later on down the line, Las Vegas scored second one. It's just like, oh god, here we go again. And it's frustrating, man. It's frustrating as a fan to be able to see that. Um, Especially, like I wasn't watching the entire game most of the time, but it's just because it's Father's Day weekend, right? Uh, but it's I don't know, man. I just want better for this team. I know they can do better. I know they can do better, and it's going to help them out in the long run. I just I just kind of want it to happen now.
yeah. Yeah, it sucks too because I had my kids there with me, and then my older son, I'm trying to get him really. He's playing soccer, the whole soccer thing, and then
Mhm.
I've taken him to the match, to San Diego match several times, and we won like half and one, lost the other, but being there and then it's like when we lose, I'm just like, man, like we should not have lost this game, at least tie or something. But it's like it's kind of a bummer. Like I'm trying to bring another generation of an ST loyal fan, and it's
Yeah,
like and I'm like, and we're losing these type of matches, the ones that we should win, you
yeah,
know.
yeah,
And but yeah, but Guido's goal, man, it was so amazing. He was pumped. Guido was freaking pumped after he scored it. You could just
yeah,
tell that he knew in his mind himself that that was probably one of the best goals he's ever done in his career. That it was a straight up freaking rocket, and like I think he was surprised himself. Like I think he was probably gonna just hit it that direction and maybe hoping for the keeper to kind of like not be prepared and maybe just like try to block it, but try to get a good, try to get a good hit on it where the keeper's gonna block it, where it's like, all right, I did a good hit, but I think he hit it so hard and with so much passion, and then when it went in, he was probably, wow, it freaking went in, like hell yeah, like, like, and he was so pumped, and the way he celebrated with the fans, like you could just tell he was so or
yeah,
prideful of it, and so
yeah,
just happy about the goal. And then, but just for like the end result to kind of just end like that, like, and it's just like, oh, come on, man, like,
yeah. They
that was,
deserve better.
you
They
know,
deserve better.
that was Guido's goal. Guido's goal. If we would have won that match, it would have just been like everyone would have been just been like leaving. Like, man, that match was freaking amazing. Guido's goal. We freaking won. We solidified our third place standing in the Western Conference. But now we just made it difficult for us to where now we definitely have to be in the 11. We
Yeah,
definitely have to beat Orange County. If we don't, we're gonna be struggling because we got to Colorado coming up. Um, we got some difficult games coming up.
yeah, yeah.
So
And I don't know, man. We'll see how this Saturday goes. It's definitely in my mind it's going to be a very historic game because I think Indy 11 is one of those franchises that we've been kind of eyeing since we joined the USL, right? Um, it's a model franchise. They're very successful. They know how to run their club. They've been around the USL for a while, and I'm very curious to see how many people. Wait, first of all, I'm very curious to see how many people from Indianapolis make the trip over to San Diego, and then I'm also very curious about how the loyal are going to react to a brand new opponent that they've never seen before. Like they have
yeah,
no idea, never seen this organization, don't even like I'm very curious about how we react to that. Are we going to do a Tampa Bay thing where we just, we kind of play our game and we end up beating them, or are we going to do a freaking a Tulsa thing and we just freaking just fall on our backs and just let them have their way with us? Like we'll see what happens.
and remember, a lot of these East Coast teams they have very strong defenses. The,
Hmm.
the Eastern Conference, they're like built on defense, and that's kind of how it is in the NFL, isn't it? Like these East Coast teams, they just have like a defense mentality, in the West Coast mentality. And that's what I don't want to see. I don't want to see them come in a good grip of the game because our defense isn't that well. And their midfielders and their strikers are mixing, mixing up our play and confusing SC Loyal to where like the defense can start pushing up because they have a strong defense to where
Hmm.
like they're gonna cause us some heat and then we end up losing the game just because, or even drawing the game just because their defense was too strong and ours was weak.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm calling for a draw.
You think so? Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not seeing nothing from the team right now to show me otherwise.
Yeah, we have to win, man. I think okay, so I'm thinking we have to win just because okay, look. I'm looking at the table right now. Third, that's us. New Mexico, Sacramento, El Paso. All of us have 25 points. RVG, RGV they have 22 points and they have one game more than us, right? We have 15 games and everybody else has like 13 games and we just have to get 3, man. We can't keep losing points, because at the end of the day these teams are going to catch up, like they might be able to catch up towards the end of the season. You never know. They're going to have to play more games than we are, and it's going to get to a point where we cannot control our own destiny, and I don't think that's a position San Diego needs to be in right now.
Yeah, we
So
can't. We can't.
yeah, I mean, it looks right now on the table, yeah, it looks like we're in third place, but we're not really. I mean, Colorado's 33 points and we have 25, and they have 2 games less than we do. It's just not
Yeah,
that's not a championship team.
no,
We have to produce. We have to start producing for sure.
exactly. Yeah, I'm calling for a 1-1 draw this weekend. Hopefully, I'm wrong, but we'll see. It's going to be up to us as supporters again to show up and give it all we got.
I'm gonna say it's gonna be a. I'm gonna give them the benefit of the doubt one more time. 2-1 San Diego. That's my call.
Let's hope.
Yeah. All right.
Let's
We'll
hope.
see. We'll see. But I mean, hopefully, like throughout the. I mean, if if the game goes well, we'll try to see if we can get some sort of Indy 11 supporter group. Maybe somebody to come on a podcast next week and just somebody that traveled out here to San Diego, see if they can just like talk about their experience and what they thought of the game. Um, that'll be if San Diego wins. If they lose, then yeah, we'll find something else to talk
Yeah.
about.
Hey, so for closing out pre-gaming Def Bruin.
I believe actually this time around, I keep hearing rumors about the parking lot at La Vecindad coming back for this weekend. I'm not
Correct.
exactly 100% sure, but that is the rumor that I'm hearing. If the parking lot and the Vecindad don't come back at Torero, we'll definitely be at Death Brewing. But right now, let's just keep our eyes open and keep your eyes peeled on Twitter and Instagram on both the locals and the Chavos sites.
Yeah, I think you are correct because after this match, everybody, we're gonna have a short turnaround only on
Mhm.
Wednesday. So I think you're
Yeah,
right. There's gonna
yeah,
be the parking lot's gonna be going on this weekend, which is gonna be great because Chavos are gonna be there, locals are gonna be there, Rainbow Loyals and the Fiends.
yeah,
So I think it's gonna be. I think this time around, I think everyone wants to be there. I think before, I think people are kind of doing their different things. But now I think this one, I think everyone wants to be there and see each other and have a good time and really be together as a group this time
yeah,
around because I think the team needs us. I think we need to really build that connection again, being so many days away from each other. I
yeah,
think that's why I think it's a good move. I think it's a good move by the locals to bring that back for this match.
yeah. And you know what? It's gonna be it's I enjoyed the parking lot when it was around. Obviously, it got to a point where it was just like, you know what? It got no, it wasn't that it got too expensive. But I think it's just kind of one of those things where it's like, the drink limitation kind of it kind of didn't make it not fun, but it was definitely kind of something like, oh man, you don't want to be limited in anything. It's just
Yeah,
it's a hard thing.
exactly.
Obviously it's being in grandma's house, but
Yeah,
I think having the parking lot and having the vecindad, maybe like 2-3 times a year is definitely a treat for anybody. Um, and it's I'm looking forward to it. I think it's gonna be a fun time for sure.
excellent. Anything else you want to get into?
Nah, man, just I'm just hoping Manny Machado's ankles is okay. Um, I know
uh,
it's just, oh my god, man, it's just it's a tough weekend for San Diego sports, man. I mean, the Padres finally have first possession, sole possession of first place, and they go ahead and lose 2 in a row to the Rockies, and then Manny Machado gets
Colorado,
hurt.
man.
Yeah, no, it's just like, oh my god, it's just you know, and then the Loyal lose to uh oh man, it went to the Lights, and it's just a
Yeah,
week. The San Diego teams just keep losing to lesser teams, and
yeah,
it was not a fun weekend at all. But I don't know, we'll see. It's still the middle of the summer, and
yeah.
I want to wish everybody out there, or all the dads out there, a very happy Father's Day. I hope happy Father's Day to you, John. I hope you guys had a great weekend. I hope you guys enjoyed it with your kids. Um, and, got some golfing done, got some soccer done, or whatever it is you guys do. Um, but I think we have a good second half of the season coming up, and I think
Yeah.
we're ready for it, man. I think we gotta be there. We gotta show up.
Yeah, we're halfway through the season, everybody. So let's just really take advantage of this last, second half of the season and just really have fun and everyone just really show what we can do here in San Diego.
Hmm.
Because we have next year, to look forward to possibly in the new home. But I think we really gotta show this season what we can bring and really have high expectations wherever we're going to be playing next season. But we have some a dry run, if you will. In September 17th, going to the Wave against Angel City. So I'm looking forward to that. I don't think the tickets are on sale yet for that, but I'll keep you all informed about that. I'll be looking into that. But besides, yeah, thank you, everybody. Thanks everybody who's been tuning in. Right.
Yeah,
I think I want to thank all the people that have been listening to us. Without you all, we wouldn't be doing this. But we really like doing this, and talking to all the other hardcore, San Diego Laurel, supporters that we come across. And yeah, I mean, I love, I just love talking to everybody, and I love ST Loyal when it comes on games days and even in between, talking to you and talking to everybody else. But I'm having a great time, and hopefully let's continue this, and hopefully we'll actually start winning some games and really start getting excited for an actual home match, a
yeah,
home.
no, and yeah, getting people out there. I mean, getting people in this podcast as well. It's gonna be one of our priorities. And actually, I meant to ask you, man. Just before we leave, one quick thing. What do you think of the host cities for the U.S.?
Oh yeah, so we'll talk more about that next week. But I'm happy at least LA got it because there was words that they possibly weren't going to get it because of the whole dimensions of SoFi.
Yeah,
You
you
know,
can't.
but but I still think that San Diego could still have gotten it, man. Like I have a really long thought on FIFA's ability to help um, the game grow and to help mid levels, cities like San Diego to give them a little bit of assistance to renovate and alter current stadiums. For example, Snapdragon could have been renovated or even upgraded. By
Gonna
that time.
renovate the stadium that hasn't
Uh,
even opened yet.
I know, huh? But hey, it's gonna be 4 years from now. What happens if we destroy
Yeah,
it? By then.
that's true. Hey, well, to be continued for next week, Brad. Let's just
I
do
know,
that.
yeah, we'll talk about that more because we had a lot of things to talk about this week in regards to like the loyal and Chavos. But yeah, that's gonna be a little bit of a conversation because I have a lot of things to say about that. But I'm happy LA got it because we can go up there, we can go up to 5. I'm happy San Francisco got it because it's again we can go up to San Francisco and go. But we'll get into it more. But what do you think?
Yeah, no, I mean, I think it's honestly my biggest surprise was no capital, but we got
Right?
Houston. Like, what the
Yeah,
fuck? Like, why Houston?
or
I mean,
Kansas City.
yeah, like, I mean, Kansas City, I could see, but just because they've had a very rabid, but I mean, they have really good supporters out there. But Houston, I was like, man, I don't know, man. It's like I can see Dallas because of the stadium, but Houston, like,
At
I don't
least
know.
Portland, then, huh? Right? Because Houston's
Yeah,
not really a place like you want to scream and shout about that. Hey, I was in Houston.
yeah, like you don't see people in you don't see Dynamo fans going like showing up. It's like,
Yeah,
yeah, you know what? It's I think they missed the mark. But again, I feel like that's a conversation for next week, and I think they could have definitely picked up on the vibes of what's going on in the MLS right now, and I just think they missed it. So
yeah. Hey,
yeah,
so we'll get into that next week, but before we close out here,
Mhm.
Sacramento Republic is up 2-1, 77th minute. So let's
Dude,
let's let's
no,
support fellow USL club. USL can
no
do it.
way. Did they really
Yeah,
score?
13 minutes left.
You
So
see, that's what I'm saying, man. Dude, their possession game is just they have like I mean, they have way less possession than LA Galaxy right now. And I'd say right now, man, they're gonna start bringing in Chicharito. They're gonna start pressing the
yeah,
front. They're gonna start pressing the top. And it's just anybody can win this cup. Anybody can win this cup, and I think we had our chance. And I think for the first time around, I think we got a good experience. And next year we're gonna bring it all for sure.
yeah. All right, man. All right, everybody. Well, thank you for tuning in. We will get into a more in-depth conversation about the San Diego football culture here
Yep.
and other topics as well. And until then, peace
Yep.
out.
And everybody subscribe. Make sure you hit that follow button on our platforms that we have. And thank you so much for listening. All
All
right.
right, buddy. Have a good one.
Peace out.